What up, y'all? It's Crew, also known as a Rainy Storm, checking in for the Venus Sign series today. No, this is not the Venus Sign series. This is actually my first time doing the animal medicine totem videos in here because it's not like cold as fuck outside, but it's, you know what I mean? It's like it's getting there. I got my turtleneck, but I don't really want to sit outside like trembling, trying to tell y'all about this animal totem. So we're going to do it in here, you know what I'm saying, for now. You know what I'm saying, until we kind of get into some like warmer weather. You know, we could be outside and do the damn thing. But for now, like I said, my name is Rainy Storm. Checking in. I am your cosmic work astrologer. Yes, this is a little later than usual, but we're good still. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually glad that I waited an extra day, and I'm going to tell y'all why. But for those of y'all that's coming in for the first time, my name, once again, is Rainy Storm. I specialize in Mars activations as well as North Node and South Node consultations. So if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can find me at rainystorm.wix.com/info, and you can find me on all social media at Rainy Storm. So, announcements, you know how we do, and you know how this go. Announcements, we have the Mars activation up on the website. Actually, that link will also be below. If you would like to come through, you could come through for the one that was previously dropped for the Scorpio new moon, and this is about basically using your Plutonic energy, that Phoenix rising energy, to transmute and alchemize and use it for your greater good. And I'm also going to do a part 2 on that because I talked more so about like breakthrough energy, but I also am going to talk about Plutonic energy of like the sacral chakra in detail, more in detail, on a part 2 that we gonna have on that, and really alchemizing your sexual energy. So look out for that part 2. I don't know when it's gonna drop, but just know that that's something that I'm like, bet. And then we have is it okay? I was like, I know I got it smoky in here, but I'm like, it's so cold. You know when you got your breath get the, I don't know if y'all can see, your breath get to go in this shit like that. Okay, so and then we have the Mars activation. It's going to be talking about the Big Leap, this book that I was reading called The Big Leap, talking about that and how it relates to Jupiter and your Jupiterian energy. You know, basically, you know, taking that step, you know, going into the unknown and really getting a true sense of yourself and the things and the mission that you come here to do in this lifetime. So that's what we're going to be talking about on that one. I'm definitely going to be working on it a little bit more today. And then, like I said, it's going to be all pre-recorded until I can actually go live with y'all, which is coming soon because y'all been coming through like a motherfucker. So it's going to be pre-recorded, donation based, and then by the time it gets on the website, you can it'll be available for purchase and stuff like that. So shout out to everybody who supported. And now let's get into this animal medicine totem. What are we going to be talking about today? Well, there is a giver who is showing back up. Y'all know around this time last year, I made a whole video about the red cardinal. All right. I made a whole... Bruh. Okay. I'll deal with that. I'm sorry. Somebody texts me and I'm just like, I just don't need that. I don't need that. I need something else. Okay. Yes, red cardinal. I'm glad I waited till today. I was going to record this video last night, but something just told me to rest after I got done recording some other videos. Something told me to rest and then wake up and figure it out. So when I woke up this morning, my sister called me and told me that this red cardinal had been showing up. This red cardinal had been showing up to the window, banging on the window around this time last year when we was in the other spot that we was at. It was kind of in the same, because we basically moved to a same area, different unit, the same room, you know, that we were in. It's the same window. You know what I mean? And it was actually coming to them before I got here. But then when I went into room, they said it was the first time like they seen the Cardinal, but it was slamming against the wall at this point. I mean, the window at this point. I mean, it just kept slamming itself, and I can remember when I first got back here after everything that had happened, and I was really in the space of healing, deep healing. You know, I had a lot of just like, not in this, just a lot of pent up energy, just very sensitive. Like, it was just a lot of shit going on. It was a lot of shit that had happened before I came back out here, and it was just a lot of shit that was going on with me internally that I was trying to like process. And so all of a sudden, I just remember being in that room, just sitting in there by myself, and then all of a sudden, it's just boom, boom, this fucking Cardinal just kept slamming itself against the window. Then it would sit right at the edge of the window and just kind of look at me and just be like mouthing, not chirping, not saying anything, but mouthing like it was trying to communicate with me. So, all right, fast forward, you know, into, you know, last week into this week, the Cardinal did the same shit, but in a different house, different place, same window though, same window space area. Did this shit, you know, around the same time, around like 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock, between that time in the morning. And just doing the slamming shit. Basically like wanting attention, telling motherfuckers like it's there. Not for me, but for her. And so she goes to tell me this morning, like I said, I'm glad I did not record this shit because I would have missed all of this shit if I would have did this shit last night. And she basically tells me that this Cardinal did the same shit today, but then after slamming itself, like it kept slamming itself. She said it was around 5:54, 5:55, and I've been seeing 222s, a lot of 222s and a lot of 555s. It sat at the corner, at the edge of the window once again for her, and walked over to where, you know, her bed is. Like, you know, it's outside, but it walked closer to her side of where she was at, where her head was at, and started doing this mouthing thing. Like, she started saying that she started getting this loud ringing in her ear, like something was trying to communicate with her. So we was on the phone, 2 different rooms, but on the phone with each other talking about this. Her phone dies, and all of a sudden this fucking fly, I have my hair wrap on, and all of a sudden this little tiny ass fly, and there was another fly was crazy, and I'll get back to this other fly. There was another fly last night that kept following me around the house, and it wasn't like a annoying bug or anything like that. It was like this motherfucker was just like following me, like, and then when I stuck my hand out to it, it flew on my hand. Like, it was just, we gonna talk about the fly, not this year, but we gonna definitely talk about the fly animal totem. But it kept following me, right? I know, like, just follow me, y'all, just follow me. I know I'm like going everywhere right now. The other day, my niece said that there had been something in her eye that was bothering her, like right here. And notice how all of this stuff is happening around the head. You know, throat, communication, ears, communication, you know, eye, communication. This is all around the head. Everything that's going on right now is solely around the head. And so she said that she had got this thing, and I was like, was it the right eye or the left eye? And she was like, the right eye. I was like, is it right here at the bottom? She was like, yeah. I was like, me too. Like, it was something right here below the eye. And so I've been reading this Egyptian mythology, and I'm gonna come back to Red Cardinal. I promise y'all. I have to get this out. I've been reading about I've been reading this Egyptian mythology book, and one thing that they talked about with the Egyptians and health and things is not only did they have rotted teeth, and they actually taught themselves how to take better care of their teeth, because y'all know, for those of y'all that watched the other video, know what I told y'all, but I'm not gonna repeat it, but y'all know what I told y'all, in the animal totem video, and also the last weekly astrology video. They also said that one of the things that also infected the Egyptians was flies flying into their eyes. So it infected it. This fly that actually was in my shit this morning, like I said, all having to do with communication. Eye, throat, mouth, ear. This fly tiny little fly, ended up flying into my head wrap and buzzing in my ear. all at the same time. This is all in connection with each other. Like, all in connection with each other. Like, something is trying to get motherfuckers' attention right now. Alright? Same thing with this cardinal. I don't know if y'all have seen cardinals in y'all's ways, or it don't even have to be a cardinal, but we're talking about the cardinal here. Something is trying to get our attention. Something is trying to communicate. Something is trying to be heard. And I know I keep talking about this. And I know I talked about this on the last weekly astrology video. And I think I even talked about it on the Bumblebee Animal Totem video that I made. But y'all, something is trying to be like, yo, hey. You know, the cardinal is a very spiritual animal totem. Very, very spiritual. It always talks about the cardinal being, you know, the messengers of the dead, or the messengers of the unseen, or messengers of the ancestors, spirit guides, and things like that. Also on the medicine wheel, and I'll talk about the medicine wheel on another video, but the medicine wheel was also a thing that was brought up into it. It rules, you know, it's red. We're talking about the red cardinal here, and it rules the east. So sending messages eastwards. Even when we write, not everybody, but most people, when we write to the east. We're writing to the east. You know, we have a Sagittarius full moon coming up this week. I do associate Sagittarius with the color red, Jupiterian energy with the color red. Aries is more orange to me. Leo's more yellow, gold to me. But Sagittarius to me is like the color red, the root chakra. You know what I mean? Because Sagittarius, out of all the fire signs, Sagittarius kind of likes to get to the bottom of things. Likes to, you know, not only read like little facts to Gemini, thing like that, but it kind of gets a little bit deeper, tries to go a little bit deeper into exploring and discovering and trying to understand these things. So, you know, I really do feel like there's a sense of communication, deeper communication, needing, you know, you to seek something deeper. When I think of the window, of course, the cardinal slamming on the wall is definitely something trying to get your attention. Slamming on the window is trying to get your attention. But when I think about just in simplest terms of like the window and how it is a giver and receiver of light and energy. You can look outside the window. People can look inside your window. You know what I'm saying? If it's open and shit like that, it's like a mirroring energy. It's a reflection. You know what I'm saying? It allows the light to come in. It illuminates things. It brings things to light, especially if the sun is out. You know what I'm saying? It brings things to light. Even if the light is dim outside, or it's raining, or it's dark, it's still mirroring inside of the home. So this to me is like the cardinal was asking us to mirror things, or to get a deep sense of your reflection, get a deeper sense of the self. It's trying to communicate with you. It's trying to communicate with your source. You know, one thing that stands out to me about the cardinal is, let me take this out because now it's all over my eyes and shit. Shout out to the sage. Shout out to the sage. My eyes, ooh, need to see. You know what I mean? One thing that is definitely sticks out about the cardinal, and they talk about with the cardinal, is like they develop a close relationship with their babies. You know, these motherfuckers, cardinals teach their babies how to fly. You know what I'm saying? Cardinals teach their babies how to hunt and gather. Actually, when we was downstairs at one point in time, I don't think I've ever talked about this, and I think I was supposed to make a video about this to update y'all about the cardinal. And I actually have videos of this too. I gotta find it in my phone, but I actually have videos of this cardinal, literally, like, I'm dead ass serious, like the baby cardinal that the mommy, you know, that they had together. The baby cardinal, he was teaching the baby cardinal how to eat the food, like fly. He was flying, like trying to fly, dropped him off at our patio and let that little motherfucker know, like, this is where you get your food at. This is where you get your food. This is where you get your drink at. If you hungry, if you thirsty, they gonna make sure you good. You know, we respected that because we make sure that the cardinals is fed, you know, giving them peanut butter balls and shit, and you know what I mean, giving them like little things of water and stuff like that they can drink because it keeps their body and stuff like that warm. So, you know, we saw this. We saw like this baby at our, you know, patio, and we saw this baby like being taught how to hunt and fly and shit. you know, and they didn't play no games about it. They were very, even though they were teaching, you know, this little baby Cardinal how to kind of move and navigate and stuff like that, like they were very like consistent, like, you know what I mean, like they were very like kind of letting him do his thing, but also keeping a close eye on the little baby to make sure, like, you know, that it's learning, like it's very much so very, and that gives me it gives me Sag energy, you know, especially coming into the new moon in Sagittarius at the end of the week. I think this is like us being like that mother, father to ourselves before we move into Capricorn season. You know what I'm saying? Like us coming out of this energy, reteaching ourselves things, you know, learning different things, especially with the South Node in Sagittarius. And the full moon will be conjunct the South Node and Mercury, you know what I'm saying, in Sagittarius. So it's like really being able to, you know, bring to the light some of the things that we have been, that have trapped our minds into like this tunnel vision focus of thinking, our way of thinking, our way of perceiving life, our way of perceiving, you know, our outlook and what could happen in this lifetime and things like that. And just teaching ourselves a new sense, a new version of, oh, the fire alarm is going off. Speaking of fire, yeah, it's smoking hard too. My bad, y'all. Gotta give it some time to clear the air. But yeah, I think that was just confirmation of what I said, like really being able to, you know, teach yourself new things, being able to retrain your mind and your energy to, you know, basically prepare to ascend. God damn, I don't know what the fuck that shit is. I'm trying, y'all. This shit's stink. I don't know what it is. But yeah, so the male and the female teach the young how to fly and hunt for their food. You know, cardinals are very monogamous in relationships. So, you know, one thing that we've definitely been talking about over here is just like, you know, and I'm not, this is, when I say this is no shade to like people who have like multiple, you know, because in a point in time, and it's still even in this time, you know, there's some people who do have like multiple wives, and, you know, if that's something that you want to do, you know, I commend you for it, like, in all parties aside, not forced to do, but, you know, but all parties, you know, are open to doing, you know what I'm saying, definitely that, or you in a poly relationship, or whatever the case may be, or whatever you call it, monogamy relationship, monogamous relationship, whatever the case may be, like, that's on you. But like, I think there's something really, you know, special about, you know, cherishing the person that you're with. I think, you know, when it comes to like having one-on-one relationships and one-on-one partnerships, I think that notion of that, not to say that that's not out there, the examples aren't out there, people ain't still doing it, but I feel like that has been really kind of washed over in this decade. You know, for example, you know, we hearing shit like, you know, why it's okay to have a side chick, and, you know, because a side chick, you know, this is just something that was brought to my attention, and I was like, what? Like, basically, motherfucker was just talking about like the side chicks, and, you know, how the reason why it's good to have a side chick is because so your main don't be complaining, you know, because you got to come home to your main complaining about blah 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 blah, but the side chick don't care if you have other, you know, other bitches and all this other type of stuff. And I'm just like, but wouldn't that bring more drama to your life than just sticking to and building an empire, building a solid foundation with the person that you want to be with, you know? I mean, that's especially if you're coming at it in that way. Like I said, this is no shade to people that have multiple partners and y'all is all on the same page and y'all communicating, y'all know what's going on, y'all know what's up. But like, I just think the notion of our like building bonds with people in relationships have been not completely tarnished, but there's just a little, you know what I mean? There's a little wiggle room there, for conversation, because it's just like, these cardinals is out here literally finding a mate and mating for life and building a family and building a home and, building this bond with each other, towards each other, love for each other. And you could just tell in the way they raise they kin, and I'm not gonna go on a long tangent in this stuff. I guess it honestly segues us all too, because the Venus series will be starting this week, talking about partnerships, relationships, finances and things like that, and really building that foundation with partners and or partnership. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a little bit of what I got. Let me know what y'all think about the whole thing, because I would love to hear what y'all feel about it. But I just think it is really something really sacred and beautiful about being able to be with somebody who can see you through anything. You know what I mean? And I'm not just talking about when you in your ups and ups, but like somebody that you can go low with, and they can still like really hold that for you and understand that and see it through with you. You know what I'm saying? Versus like, the whole extra. So mating for life. This is also, moving to a different kind of, topic. It's like, this is like the messenger gods too. So this is like the doorway of the in-between. You know what I'm saying? So when I think of Gemini full moon into the Sagittarius new moon, this is like the in-between. The messenger, before the messenger carries the message off into the heavens, Sagittarius, before it carries it back up into the spiritual realm. So Sagittarius in this new moon can talk to the council, the upper echelon, the spirit guides, the ancestors, and be like, all right, so this is what we trying to do. This is what the conclusions that we come to, and this is kind of like where we at this point. Like, this is how we want to Jupiter move forward, especially as we get into this Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, this month. It's just like, all right, this is how I want to play this. You know what I'm saying? I did talk about the root chakra energy, the energy of the sun. This is definitely, I would definitely say, take time to be outside when y'all can. If you can get sun. I got a call this morning, and I won't go too deep into the call, but somebody found me in a magazine because I was supposed to be going on a tour at the beginning of the year with the Black Lesbian Archives, which is an archival project that I created a couple years ago. And so they said that they was in Michigan. They didn't have nothing to do. It was the cutest thing. They didn't have nothing to do because it was so cold, and they was sitting in their couch just reading over this magazine with a jacket on, sitting on the couch, you know what I'm saying, with the dog and watching TV, and they happened to look into this book and see that, so they just wanted to call and make sure that we was safe on the road with everything going on and stuff like that. And so they asked me, they was like, could you possibly take some pictures just being out in nature, being out in the sun, because I don't really use the internet like that, and I don't really have access to the internet, but I did have your number, and I wanted to call y'all and make sure y'all was okay and stuff like that. So just, you know what I mean? If you have the opportunity, because there's a lot of people that don't have the opportunity to be out in the sun right now. If you don't have the opportunity to be out in the sun, definitely I would say meditate around a candle. You know what I mean? And also one thing that came up that I'd never seen and I never heard of, but it mentioned something about rough times ahead. But I don't want to say this to scare y'all or like try to fearmonger, you know what I'm saying? Like do all that kind of shit with y'all per se. But I definitely think that, I think rough times ahead could just be like there's going to be a lot of changes going on. I mean, there is definitely, if we're talking about the astrology, there's just going to be a lot of swift changes, especially as Saturn moves into Aquarius. And we do move into 2021. There's going to be a lot of quick, fast, and a motherfucking hurry Uranian changes. And I think really going with the flow of things, but not going with the flow of things so much that you're succumbing to. Hold on one second, y'all. Let me take this out because my eyes. Here, y'all can have it right now. But not succumbing to, what everybody else is doing and things like that, and just kind of moving forward and just staying grounded in what you, not necessarily only just what you know, but the things that resonate with you the most. You know what I'm saying? As we go into Capricorn season, and like I said, this Jupiter, Saturn Jupiter conjunction moving into December when we're going into this cardinal season. So if we talk about cardinal, a red cardinal, and we're talking about this cardinal sign, and anytime you see red, you know, if we're talking about the signs and things like that, like a stop sign is red. It's telling you to stop. You know what I mean? A light, you know, at the stoplight, it's red. It's telling you to stop. Green is more go, red is more stop. So something is telling you to stop. Something is telling us to really stop and kind of, I feel like, take a look around. So we're able to receive. We're able to receive the messages that are trying to come through. You feel me? You feel me? So we're able to receive the messages that is trying to come through. And if you got a lot of shit going on right now, and there's a lot of stuff going on around you, then you won't be able to receive those messages that's trying to come in. And you notice that I said this was like earlier in the morning when the cardinal came, you know, into, I know for me it was around 11 when the cardinal came to me, so that it was the afternoon, but I was by myself. Same thing here. She was asleep, you know, she was quiet. You know, when you're asleep, you don't have any distractions around you. There is nothing bothering you. There is nothing. So that's when the message was very clear, when she was alone and she was quiet, you know, of like, why, like, now you're coming to me at this specific time, at this specific moment. You know what I mean? So I think this is also asking yourself, like, what direction that you want to go, and being able to really go there, you know, being able to really put and do the necessary things that you need to do in order to make it move and make it move forward. You know what I mean? But the only way that you'll be able to figure that out, and the only way you'll be able to get to that conclusion, if you take the time to stop. If you take the time to allow, you know, the messages that are trying to come through to come to you. And I'm going to continue to keep saying that. I'm going to continue to keep spreading the love and spreading the messages, y'all, you know, until you hear me, you know. So when y'all can, especially this weekend, I'm going to go into the weekly astrology next. When you fucking can, take some time to be alone. Anything that comes to your mind, any thoughts, anything that you hear, listen. Have a pen and pad with you, write that shit down, and then try to decipher what you feel like that message is trying to tell you. Okay? And you could share that shit in the comments if you want to, or if you've had an experience like this, definitely. But yeah, take that time to go through that doorway, to go through that crossover, that pathway, to really get a sense of what's really going on. And not in the outside world, you know, South Node Sagittarius, but on your internal North Node Gemini world, what's going on around you. You feel me? So yeah, this is all I have for everybody for the you know, red cardinal animal totem. I'm gonna be giving y'all more messages about the red cardinal, because I feel like the cardinal is just something, you know, that is never gonna go away. You know, they literally live over here with us. So until we move, which is not too far from now, you know what I'm saying? I'll definitely be updating y'all if the cardinal does, you know, pop on the scene. I'll definitely try to drop a quick little video on y'all to update y'all what's going on with the cardinal. But other than that, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. It's a rainy storm checking in, checking out, and I'll talk to y'all soon.